Hi everybody, this is Mike Guglielmi from the Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast. I am back and ready to do another round of predictions and picks for this weekend's action on September 14th and September 15th. So, 5 games last week, we've got 10 this week. I'm going to try and keep my reasoning down for my picks a little bit so it doesn't drag on over 15 minutes. But I wanted to start right out. So last week with the 5 games, ended up with a 3-2 record. So over 500, which actually took my all-time record up to a dead even 500 of 29 wins and 29 losses. So decent week, I would say, not great. I was real close to getting that 4-1 week, which would have been huge, but I'll take the 3-2. It's better than 0-5 or 1-4. So let's get right into the first picks here for this weekend's game. Starting on Saturday, we've got an early matchup. New York City FC hosting San Jose Earthquakes at Yankee Stadium. New York City just coming off a draw, which they're going to feel really hard done by against TFC over the past, on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, in the midweek games, which I didn't get a pick video out for. But in this game, I think New York City is just too good at home for San Jose. I'm going to pick New York City in that big run in the Eastern Conference they're on at the top right now. They've got to keep winning games to stay in that number 1 spot. My pick is New York City FC to win. Now, some big news just dropped today. Chicago Fire. Finally, the word is now official that they are relocating to Soldier Field, downtown Chicago, where the Chicago Bears play. A huge 60,000-seat stadium. The Fire will be playing their home games there next season. But in even bigger news is the fact that Andrew Hauptmann is out. He is done. He has sold his ownership stake to, I believe his name is Joe Mansueto, who was the CEO of Morningstar. So now, Fire fans, how you feeling? I'm excited about it. It's big news. I think this was necessary. Hauptmann had to be out. Everybody was calling for it. Finally, he got the point and he needed to get out, and he did just that. Now, hopefully, Joe Mansueto, who's been involved with Hauptmann as a partner, hopefully he'll kind of chuck everything out the window that they've been doing so far and go for broke with a new type of strategy, especially with this move over to Soldier Field. But enough of the news. We will touch more about this, I'm sure, on our podcast episode next week. So you can find our podcast episodes on any of your favorite podcatchers, iTunes. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Get it through CastBox on Android, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio. There's all kinds of different ways. Or the old-fashioned way, you can go to our website, www.sonsofapitchsoccer.com, and download it directly from there. So anyways, back to the games. Chicago Fire hosting FC Dallas. I think that Dallas is in a midst of a playoff run. Chicago is kind of, although I think they're pretty much out. My pick in this game is that the team on the road, FC Dallas, will get the result and get a draw. So my pick in this one is a draw. All right, so Atlanta United is hosting the Columbus Crew. This one here, you've got a Columbus team who is scratching their head looking for next year, and you've got an Atlanta team that is trying to get, solidify that playoff spot at the top and hopefully break into that top seed in the East. I can't go any other way than this result going for Atlanta United at home. My pick is Atlanta United to win and get the 3 points. Next up, we've got Orlando City hosting the New England Revolution. 2 teams fighting in the last playoff positions. This should be a great game. My pick in this one is the New England Revolution to beat Orlando and end their season early. I think New England is in a do-or-die situation with that 7th spot, and I think they're a better team than Orlando, so my pick is New England. Montreal Impact hosting FC Cincinnati. Poor FC Cincinnati, they are just struggling right now. Expansion struggles, injury struggles, just you name it, this team is hurting. No doubt in my mind that Montreal will get the full 3 points in this game and beat a struggling FC Cincinnati side. Now we go to one of the best games this weekend, or at least it should be on paper. You've got Philadelphia Union hosting LAFC. So you've got a team in Philadelphia that's at the top, just got knocked off the top by New York City. So Philadelphia right there, a great team. And then you've got LAFC, who's kind of reeling a little bit right now since they've clinched the Western Conference and now the a spot in the Champions League, CONCACAF Champions League next year. This team's struggling a bit. They're not getting a ton of results. They had some international absences last week, but this one is LAFC has got to get back on track at some point, but I don't see it happening today. Not in Philadelphia, not against a Union side who plays so well at Talent Energy Stadium. So my pick is Philadelphia Union. They've got more to play for as far as first place in the East. My pick, Philadelphia Union to win. Now we head out west to wrap up the Saturday games. Vancouver Whitecaps hosting the Houston Dynamo. This game, not much to say in this one. I don't think it's going to be very exciting. Two teams that are just not playing the best football this season. Although Houston is doing a little bit better, got that result last week. I see this one ending in a draw. My pick here is a draw. They split the points up in Vancouver. All right, so on Sunday, we've got Portland Timbers hosting DC United. This should be quite a dandy as well. I'm really excited to watch this game. Portland Timbers, seems like all of their games have been at home lately, and they have been for the most part. My pick in this game is the Portland Timbers to beat a struggling DC United side and continue their move up in the Western Conference, which is so tight right now. A win and a loss from another team, all of a sudden that 3 points could move you from 6th up to 2nd, and vice versa. A home game, away game is within the balance of one win, possibly even a draw once we get down to decision day in a couple weeks. Toronto FC hosts Colorado Rapids in Robin Fraser's return match to BMO Field. Just left a couple weeks ago, and look at that. The schedule just gives some drama there with the head coach coming back to face his former side. This one, Toronto FC has been playing extremely well. They did get a result on the weekend at New York City. Debatable by some people. They're a little concerned with the refereeing, especially towards the end of the game, and a couple penalties for Toronto. But overall, Toronto had many, many chances that even if those calls did go New York City's way at the end of the game, it probably, if Toronto finished their chances, they would have beaten them 4-1, 4-2. So this game, I think Toronto will keep it going. They get the 3 points. My pick, Toronto FC wins at home against Colorado. Minnesota United hosting Real Salt Lake. Two playoff teams that are right there in the picture right now, right in that tight section of the Western Conference playoff picture. Minnesota United at home, Allianz Field. I've got to go with them. My pick, Minnesota United to beat RSL at home and take a major jump in the Western Conference playoff standings. Seattle Sounders and New York Red Bulls. This game up in Seattle, a tough place for any visiting team to play. New York Red Bulls, they need the points. They're struggling right now, sitting at the 5 spot in the Eastern Conference, but it is tight, so they really are going to give it all this game. I think it's going to be a great game for the Red Bulls. I think they will get enough done to salvage something. So my pick in this, even though it's a tough place to play, is a draw in this matchup. Game of the weekend, Sunday night, LA Galaxy hosts Sporting Kansas City from StubHub Center, Dignity Health Sports Park, whatever it's called, that place in Carson. LA Galaxy at home. LA has got to turn it around. They are dropped out of the playoff picture right now. A team that has Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Pavone, Jonathan Dos Santos, Sebastian Lletget. I mean, you name it. There's so many pieces on this team, and they're not even in a playoff spot. Now, mind you, they are only a point or two out, so with a couple wins and a couple losses from some other teams, they could end up hosting a playoff game. But they've got to get back on track. They're hosting a struggling Sporting Kansas City side who is on their last gasp. They have to win out the rest of the season. I don't see that happening. My pick in this game is the LA Galaxy to get it back on track and win this game. So there you have it. Those are my picks in the 10 games this weekend, September 14th and 15th. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe below so you don't miss any of my picks. Every week, I'll be coming back with these picks. So far, so good. 50%, 500 record, however you want to break it down. 29-29 since I started doing this about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit us up on Twitter at SOP Soccer on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. However, glad you're listening to us and checking us out on YouTube and listening to the pod. Everybody enjoy the soccer this weekend, and we will talk to you guys soon.